Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Ladies, understand something. The top end of a woman's weight is 145 pounds. Okay. My mother's 5'9", and she was 145 pounds until she was 50. That's the top end of your weight, because there should be about a 40-pound difference between you and men.
Basically, if the guy is rich, what ends up happening is the lawyer contacts the person and be like, hey, you know, your name gonna be all in the paper, so you might as well just settle out of court.
I can recognize talent. Even if I don't agree with the politics, a lot of the politics that was underlying in the show and some of the sentiments he was trying to share, I recognize artistry when an artist is present.
Yes, this is the definition of absolutely cooked. We'll never go back and take a look at her bad decision and take accountability for any of that.
Because there is powerful people in the industry, somehow there is a different law that applies to them. And I agree with that assessment.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin, made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them praying on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace. My ancestors beat drums until their palms would bleed, begging that generations remember our story.
Yo. It was good. Peace and blessings this morning. Sorry about the hiccup earlier. I thought I looked over everything prior to hitting that button. I didn't. So rather me continue on with a bunch of misspelling that would mislead the viewers on the title, I just started over from scratch. There wasn't no point. But happy Saturday, man. I hope all is well with everybody here. I didn't want to do a 10-minute, 5-minute clip on this. That's pretty easy, but to be honest with you, it's some things that you just need to talk about a little more in depth. And I don't want to rob myself or anyone who is actually listening and watching of giving full context to what I'm about to say, because a lot of people have spoken on Miss Robinson, but I don't necessarily believe that they spoke on it necessarily in a way that gave it justice. Like, this is somebody's life here. Whether or not you care or don't care, or you think it's humorous, or you're looking at it like calmer, whatever the case may be, it's not really a joke. It's not a game. It's not memeable. But you know how humans are, man. We turn everything into a comedy sketch. So before I go in there, let me get my flowers out, make my announcements. This is one of 2 shows. I got another one later at 9 o'clock. That's on a more serious note. If you've been watching me, especially the open mic we did yesterday, I covered it just a little bit. Shout out to SM. She came to me with this story about a lady who lost her life in an entirely different country, and she went down there with a group of so-called friends. We'll get into it. It wasn't right though. it was a real sad situation, and I'm hoping and praying that justice is served there, because nobody deserves that. It don't matter if you dislike a person. There shouldn't be that much hate in the world to the extent that you would do what they did to her, allegedly. But I want to give flowers to my poet Sydney, JJ, Bagel Mommy, Don, Mad Mystic, a group of poets and writers and rappers, and to all of you, man. Y'all been up here showing love. Y'all been up here doing your thing, and I extend my gratitude to you. Someone else that I gotta say thank you to real quick. I can't do it on this one. That was on my other one. My bad. Jenny. Jenny came through on my other stream. She's a member, and she just tapped in and showed the brother some love over there. Kind of pissed off that I messed around and didn't do a rough draft on the title before. So I don't know. Hopefully YouTube don't penalize me for taking that string down. I just couldn't do nothing with that one. Don Robinson is why we're here, though. Envogue. I grew up on Envogue. Envogue, SWV. No Diggity, No Doubt, Ted Riley, you name it. That was my era. We're never going to get that type of music again. It's not coming back. Anytime you would turn on any of these songs, bro, there's no way in the world you're going to tell me you didn't get nostalgia. There's no way in the world you ain't telling me that you didn't think about high school. You didn't think about middle school, your crushes, those exam days, those days where it was hot outside and you got to go and run up and down the street, going to different neighborhoods freely. You weren't really too concerned about getting killed or shot or nothing. Everybody fist fought. You were dealing with relationship issues with the kids, and just it wasn't nothing as complex or as like brutal as it is now. And I thought that era of music, for me, even though it had its dark side, it wasn't as brazen as it is now. Everybody didn't have their ass out. They were promiscuous. They were sexual, but it wasn't as overly aggressive as it is now. You know what I'm saying? And the women back then, it was very far in between that you saw them damn near completely naked. Most of the R&B women back in the 80s and the 90s, man, they knew how to look sexy and still have on a full set of clothes. They didn't have to show off the innards of their bra. They didn't have to show their hindquarters and their skirts going up over their cheek and all that. They didn't have to do all that. They dressed appropriate, most of them. You had your stragglers, but not all of them, and they flourished. I wish I could go back. Just give me a good. Let me run back the 90s. Let me run back the 80s. If just one more time, let me just run that era back, just so I can experience that differently and appreciate it more and embrace it more. Because we can't get any of that time back. All we're left with is the experiences, the smiles, the cries, the ups and downs, the drama, the family settings, the barbecues. You know, we can't get that back. We are older now. We aren't the same men and women that we were back then. Our perspectives of life are completely different. The way we view and value things are completely different. Shout out to Don, bro. Everything is different. I would do anything to be able to just do that one more time. But I always thought, you know, these people, I didn't know that their lifestyle was going to catch up to them too. I always assumed, like, people like envogue and TLC and them, I always assumed that they just were smart with money. Let's keep it a buck. I always thought like Biggie, Tupac, Tribe Called Quest, you know, y'all pretty much are in a space where this is y'all time. Everybody's blasting you on the radio, going to the clubs, buying your merchandise, dancing to you, singing to you, having children to your music, etc., etc. We've created an entire time capsule of pain, pleasure to these musicians and artists. I just assumed that they were literate with their income. Nobody would have assumed. I didn't assume that they were poor or broke. I didn't assume or come to my own little conclusion that they were mismanaging their money. But the older you get, the more you realize that people aren't as sound-minded with their spending. The older you get, you realize just how trifling and how vicious the Hollywood is, how your higher ups are, how they treat you. It's a terrible eye opener when you look at these shows that come on YouTube, you know, the what happened to such and such, the what happened to her or what happened to him, and they got a whole documentary on the rise and fall of one of your favorite actors or actresses. And when you watched them initially, you were like, damn, they're gifted, they're talented. Why don't I see more of them? They should be doing a whole lot more. They should be excelling. They should be rising and shining bright, because a lot of them people were hella dope, man. And then they just vanish off the face of the earth. Life goes on, and then they just pop up out of nowhere. You get stories and you hear about them ending up in like some real screwed up situations, and it's like, damn, man, I would have never assumed that Judy from Family Matters would end up being in adult film. I would have never assumed that such and such would be out on the street. There's a number that I can't even give you of all of the celebrity that actually is living in tents, living in cars, living in trailer park communities. These are notable people. These aren't just like folks you didn't know about. These are people that you actually knew. And you look at them now, it's like, what the hell happened? A lot. I can't even remember. If I could find the actual documentary that I watched, I would plug it so that you could see what I'm talking about. I saw one woman, I'm like, damn, hold up. Not you. No, there's no way in the world that you homeless. She looked strung out. She looks sick. She looks defeated. She does not look like what you saw on that big ass screen in AMC theater. I'm not surprised, bro. Don, I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not. Which is what brought me to this morning's roundtable. The conversation at hand is, one, don't point your finger and judge someone. Don't idolize people. Put them on a pedestal. Just because they got chains and because you see them on the red carpet don't mean nothing. Just because they seem like they're winning in life doesn't mean nothing. And just because you see them flying everywhere does not mean absolutely nothing. Just because they got 1 million subscribers and followers doesn't mean nothing. You know what I've learned since my childhood? I've realized that if you don't really actually work for yourself, you can get screwed over at any given moment. As long as you work for another human being, the odds of you getting fucked over are exponential. Give me my sound. Don't play with me. Hold on. Humans aren't to be trusted. Your accountants aren't to be trusted. Your family aren't to be trusted. Your lovers aren't to be trusted. And the people that you work alongside of 20, 30 years aren't to be trusted. Them folks that you be on the road with day in and day out, building those connections with, fighting with, going to each other's birthday parties and weddings and all that, they're not to be trusted. Everybody got the capabilities of turning their back on you as soon as the flesh takes over and their needs and their desires supersede you as a human being. As soon as they no longer look at you as a person, you're expendable. And then on top of that, watching Dawn Robertson tell her story, I don't feel any type of way. what she's experiencing, a lot of people are experiencing. You know, you'll allow success and popularity and that temporary moment of pleasure and excitement dictate your every move. When y'all get money, you become bougie. When you get money, you stop acting like you know people. When you get money, it's almost as if you think that this is unlimited. Like that shit is just gonna continuously come in. So you go out, you get online and you shop and you buy whatever you want because it just seemed like it's going to continuously come in. And for a while, it's all good until your work performance doesn't add up anymore. Your content doesn't have any weight or value to it. Don't nobody want to see you no more. You're out of style. Your fashion isn't hitting anymore. Your songs aren't touching the people anymore. You're not being overly sexual. You're not showing enough skin. Times progress. The lyrics progress. They get retarded. They don't have messages anymore. Every season has a different chain of events. Your money start drying up. You go, oh shit. Well, I mean, I did make a lot of money over the years. I've been doing this for a while. What about my royalties? What about all of the sales that what you don't realize is you decided that you would spend as fast as it came in. You wanted to take those checks. Matter of fact, you and I both know that the regular 9-to-5ers, you know what I'm talking about. We are already spending money before we get it. Like the week before. So let's say you got paid that Friday or that Wednesday or Thursday, depending on you. You already had it in your mind the week before payday. You already knew, all right, I got this bill, that bill, that bill, that bill. So you know that is going to be gone automatically. But that extra money you got, you done already spent it in your head. You are broke. You are absolutely broke. As soon as that check come in, it's a wrap. Because most people don't invest in shit. You ain't investing in nothing. You just trying to keep up with everybody. Now imagine being a celebrity or a musician or somebody who is really, they're just used to having large lump sums of cash. Like they don't have the issue of every week or every 2-week paychecks. They what? The little regular people, we ain't seeing nothing over $1,000, maximum 1,200-1,300 in a week or 2 weeks, depending on the job. That shit is actually, that's going to be gone within a week and a half or so. They are not in those spaces. They don't know nothing about that. So they really act a fool. So the shit catch up to them. And now they looking like, damn, I thought, I made all this money. Really, we were on billboards. We were on the top of our shit. We were doing concerts. I know we got money here. No, the hell you don't. No, you don't. Because you spent it as fast as you got it. On top of that, you had fake ass people around you. You had liars around you. You had, let me borrow this. Let me borrow. I'm about to get evicted. Can you loan me or help me out with a couple $100? A couple. Oh, my kids need such and such, but dry begging, panhandling, the ones that hang around you just so that you can front the bill all the time. Most of them had that around them. So when you combine all of that, you don't have no urgency. When you're rich and you got money and you just feel so safe and secure, you feel invisible. You have the power to just be completely reckless and irresponsible until you find out that there's an expiration date on all the fun that you can have. When I was young and trapping, I lived that careless wallet life, and now nothing to share. Exactly. So I wasn't even thinking about it back then. All them people, all of them. Backstreet Boys, Milli Vanilli, Ice Cube. He's probably one of the few that didn't completely fuck up. He seems like he's doing good. But folks like B2K and Immature and TLC and them, they ain't got it like that. Most of us live just like that, bro. Most of us live like that. You go to work and pay your bills, and then you're broke. Then you go to work, get your check, you pay your bill, then you're broke. And just the same thing over and over and over again. I don't know about you. I didn't sign up for that. I did not sign up for that. And it's only by the grace of God that I still have a roof over my head. Don Robinson is experiencing what most average men and women experience on a daily basis. I was riding on the way home last week. The guy wasn't even sleeping on the bench. He was sleeping on the concrete on the sidewalk. Stretched out on the sidewalk. People just walking up and down past the dude like, he ain't nobody. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this and in the format that I am is mostly because this could be anybody. This could be me. This could be you. This can be any of these bloggers and any of these big podcasters. It can happen to anybody at any given moment. But y'all want to get up here and clown people, and you want to make fun of folks in their unfortunate situations and their downfall, and you find it endearing and it gives you energy for whatever reason. Like you like and you enjoy seeing people suffer, and that right there is horrible. You really got to be a shit person to get some type of enjoyment out of that. Because if I was in her shoes, do you know how much strength and how much rebuilding and how much humble attitude has to envelop inside of your soul for you to come to a place where you just realize, like, God, this is my fault. I did this. This is the reason that I'm in this position. I didn't vet my friends properly. I didn't utilize my brain as much as I could. I didn't take advice. I listened to the wrong folks. I indulged in expenses that I didn't need to at the time. I wanted to show off. I wanted to be a gloat. I wanted to be bougie. Your attitude and your lack thereof, listening to people who only have the intentions of robbing from you, extracting from you, and keeping you underneath their control until they have exacerbated all resources that they can from you. Y'all sit up there and be drinking and smoking and smiling in people's faces and partying with these folks whole time. They in your account, tapping into your account, doing all of the most nefarious things that you can imagine, that you would never think a human being would do to another human being. I've learned so much about humans. Humans who don't have God, you might as well chop it up. Humans who don't know God, don't care to know him. It's like you're inviting destruction into your life. You're inviting sickness into your life. They are parasites. Think about it like this. Go back 20 years or so. Most of us would not do what we've been doing. We are, for the most part, most of us are, we've already reassessed and reevaluated how much we have fucked up. And we are trying to repair the damage and make things right. At this moment, we're trying to do what we can with what little time we got now, because we squandered most of our youth on the most ridiculous shit. Between dating, frivolously having sex with whoever will lay down with us, to buying things that we don't even own no more. How many of you own a pair of jeans or a shirt from 15 years ago? Probably nobody. Guarantee you, there's not a single soul in here that's still walking around wearing the same jacket or the same shirt. I was telling somebody a couple months ago, you have a coat, you have a jacket. Why are you buying another one? Oh, because I just need a new one. What happened to her is unfortunate, but we know why it happened, and she knows why it happened. That's what I respected the most out of her conversation, her opening up about it. Because she could have just lied, and she didn't have to hold herself accountable whatsoever. She could have blamed it on society. She could have blamed it on you. She could have blamed it on me. She could have blamed it on whoever the hell she wanted, and it would have just been fine because she was a member of envogue. And most women don't hold themselves accountable. She did. And I hope and pray that when she comes out of this, that her experience makes her that much better than what she was before she found herself living in her car. With the type of management that she had around her, with the type of friends no. Dealing with humans make you don't ever if someone tells you they don't have a circle of friends, it's really just them. That's not really a red flag. I'm more or less concerned about people who have multiple bodies around them. Like you got 5, 10 people that you knew. I'm cool because there's a few of them that's on some fuck shit. Guaranteed. I'm good. I bet you think differently now. I bet you reflect a little more on who you have conversations with and who you're intimate with and who you spend with and I know for sure you would never catch me hanging out, going anywhere with anyone who talks about me behind my back. Or cross me. No way in the world am I pouring into anything or anyone who has ever crossed me. And you have to live. You have to have a roof over your head. God takes care of the crows and the animals, and they don't have walls and all that keeping them secure from the storms and the droughts, and we have it. But every single day the price of living goes up. Taxes go up, rent goes up, car insurance goes up, everything goes up, and you're not getting paid an equal compensation for the tasks that are required of you on your 9 to 5. If you're not working for yourself, you are pretty much a slave to the system, just like me and just like everybody else. When you're working for other people, they can screw you over. They can do whatever the hell they want. You're always going to be under their thumb, because why? You got shit that you got to pay for. I just always assume that someone who was a multi-millionaire sold all these records for a woman like her and that group and all of them. I just would have assumed y'all would have been way more wise with your spending, and clearly you weren't. That's why I could never. I don't know if it's just the way life is set up for some reason. I don't know how we got a existence where hard workers get the shit end of the stick, and people like Kanye and all these big conglomerate companies, tobacco companies, alcohol companies, these folks just find themselves on the fortunate side where they never have to eat shit and deal with what we deal with. I don't know how it got like that, but I think at some point this shit needs to flip, because there's no way in the fucking world you're going to give me the space or the opportunity to be in a space where I am set, my family is set, future generations are financially set, and I'm going to fuck it up the way that these people do. All of them celebrities, damn near all of them screw up. Bankrupt, paying alimony for life. Nigga, I get married again and I'm financially well off. I tell you, whoever the hell you are out there, if we walk down that aisle, that's it. I ain't going nowhere and you ain't going nowhere. And you know why? Because I know how to choose. I know exactly how to pick you. Your ass ain't gonna be one of these sexy red ass bitches. You ain't gonna be one of these internet clout chasing broads, man, that want attention from every single dude in the world. You ain't gonna be mouthy and disrespectful and dismissive of who the fuck I am in your life. I am not doing that. People who struggle and go through, I can't speak for everybody, but for myself, as much as I've seen from my grandparents all the way up, I couldn't. I'm gonna make my money, I'm gonna stop, and then I'm gonna let my money continue to make money for me. I'm not about to sit up here and get greedy and go out here and buy just because I can afford to buy it. No. The folks that just are simple, like, come on, man, we don't need a lot of shit. We don't have to have $1 million gazillion to enjoy life. So if you put that type of money in our possession, it's not going to change us. We've already seen and we've already created within ourselves the real true core values of what is meant to be significantly important over what is just there as a bonus. What I would like, what I would have loved to have done within my life, I would have loved to have married someone that my grandparents, my mother, my sisters, my brothers, my nieces, my friends, before life removed them from this plane of existence, I would have loved to have had them all sitting somewhere watching my bride walk down the aisle. I would have loved to see their faces as I had actually met who God wanted me to have. I would have loved that. I would have wanted nothing more than to have that. I didn't get that. My path was completely different. And none of them are here anymore. So anything that I do moving forward, I have to do it knowing that my faith is so strong that I believe that they are still in attendance and they're still watching me from a better place, hopefully. These people done went to Hawaii. They got 20 houses, 30 cars. They done bought 80 apartments, 80 buildings. They done did all of that, and they miserable. They're miserable. They're broke. They're on the verge of losing all their shit, all their assets. Their credibility is shot. Their sin is catching up to them. Their dark dwellings are catching up to them. Everything that they thought they were getting away with is getting exposed. They're spiritually sick. They're emotionally, they all fucked, all screwed. But people like me and the average person who would have done better by the blessings that we receive, we keep getting the short end of the stick. Someone's selling their soul. Someone has to be. And it's okay. I had to go through what I went through to get here. I gotta eat the shit. I gotta take the L's. I gotta be here. As long as God gives me a breath, I'm still going to live this life as if all of those people who are in the grave are still alive. I'm going to treat it as if they're still here with me in spirit. Don Robinson, you have a chance to make things right with your own walk. I ain't got nothing to say other than I wish you the best. God bless you. I hope and pray that you move differently, that you deal with life differently. Because I guarantee you, them same people that were there, they're not there anymore. But they'll show up as soon as you start to get a little buzz, as soon as people start to take a liking to you. That's when they'll pay attention. That's when they'll put respect on you. The only difference with this is you already had it. And you should be retired somewhere, living nice, comfortable. At Dawn Robinson's age, and she's probably like 4 years older than me. She ain't that much older than me. At your age, I should be in a different country. I would be in a regular house in a location where I'm not getting screwed over by America, because America is robbing people. America is robbing people of life. America is taking everything from us. We have to work damn near our entire life to even get anything out of it. I wouldn't leave the country where the medical expenses are nothing over $100. I want to go somewhere. I want to go somewhere where healthcare is reasonable, where your living expenses aren't like astronomically ridiculous. To live in the city where I'm at, your rent is damn near $3,000. In some places, it's $1,400. In the better parts of the city, is up to $2,000 to $4,000 and up. Like, what are you talking about? You gotta pay for parking. You gotta pay to do this. You gotta pay to do that. I could never, ever see myself retiring in the United States for a number of reasons. And actually, I'm not mad at it, Mexico. I've never been there before. I get mixed reactions. Some people say it's like horrible. Other people, it's a beautiful place. I think it's just like anywhere. You have to know where you're going. You just can't up and move somewhere and not know what you're getting yourself involved in. That would be irresponsible. That and that second part that you said, like I said, I think you just got to know. You got to do your own research. I would rather research it and then come to my own conclusion, because I know there's bad parts, but I know there's good parts. If I had to choose a place, I can't remember. They did a video on it, and where they are located, you don't work 5 days, 6 days out of the week. You only work 3 days out of the week. Can you imagine only having to work 3 days out of the week? There was another documentary I watched, and it named about 7 different locations outside of the United States that they're willing to not only pay you, but they are in locations that are not really famous or known to the public, but the cost of living is like so affordable. The only thing that you would really have to be responsible for is making sure that you got a steady flow of income. But see, that's just little old people who don't really need a whole bunch. We just want to live. Like, I'm not trying to be 70, 60, 55 years old, still kind of paying off debts and on this and on that. And I want to live my life, what little left of it I got. I'm not trying to be constantly still working under other people. Don Robinson should be chilling right now. She shouldn't even be worried about anything financially. Her money should be working for her. Absolutely, 1000%. I got a clothing line right now that I'm trying to get set up here. And as a matter of fact, I gotta make me a call to someone so that I can get my Shopify set up. Because I started a clothing line a couple years ago. It stopped. Now I brought it back and I want to get it going again. I ain't got time for this. To answer your question, between this clothing line and the podcast, that's where I'm at right now. That's the only thing I'm focused on. I ain't thinking about love. I'm not thinking about relationships. I don't care if a person don't like me. I don't care if I have a friend or a million of them. I ain't tripping off of it because people are greedy. People are temporary. They come and go as often as they take a shit. Folks don't even understand the value of friendship. They don't even know what love is. They don't even know what loyalty is. They don't even know what locking in with someone really looks like. People are out here getting manipulated and used and controlled all the time. I'm not saying, so what I'm saying is, like, my issue with it is I'm trying to get some things set up to where, because I already got it connected to my YouTube channel. But there's like some technicalities that I'm having issues with getting it officially locked in. Otherwise, I would have already had it running by now. I had to deactivate it because it wasn't properly set up. So I need to get someone who is more knowledgeable in that area, so I can just launch it, let it run its course, and then I'm good to go. Outside of that, I kind of stalled on it a little bit. I did. I should have been had this taken care of. So I'm gonna lock in after I get off of here. I gotta really think about this for a second. I might know someone who could help me out with this. I might have to have a conversation with my brother. I'm glad you asked me that question though, because I really needed to think about that one for a second. I'm doing everything else except for getting that taken care of. But yeah, I do have a clothing line for the people who are curious. Depending on what happens after today moving forward, I'll make an announcement officially about it when it'll drop, when it'll be up. But I love the question about what country I would go to. Let's revisit that when I'm in a position where I can actually travel. Let me see here. But I want to send my thoughts and prayers out to Miss Robinson. It takes a lot of courage. It takes honesty, for real, to be vulnerable like that. I don't find anything humorous about it, because we all screw up. We've all made horrible decisions and mistakes. We've all been on the short end of the stick, and I wouldn't want nobody laughing at me. I would rather you reach out and extend some type of advice or encouragement. If you can't do that, then shut up. Don't say nothing at all. That's the problem. You're finding pleasure and you're finding joy out of beating people while they're down. We beat ourselves up enough as it is. We don't need the extra. And you don't get blessed doing stuff like that either. It's actually distasteful. There's nothing appealing about it. There's nothing adults about it. You're grown men and women. There's nothing, no. But I'm about to get up out of here, man. I'll be back later, 9 o'clock. I'm going to finish doing some cleaning. I'm going to make a phone call here, see what I can get done with this. Fingers crossed. And I'll be dropping clips of like the podcast. You'll see it. Outside of that, I do got other things that I'm going to be uploading. It won't be right away. I'm just trying to lock in, but I appreciate everybody for tapping in. Liberty, I appreciate you for joining. I will follow you back if I'm not already. I'm not quite sure if I am. I'll check my notifications and all that. I try to stay in contact with everybody who show love to me. So I appreciate y'all. Let me throw this on the charge. I got another open mic that I'm trying to get set up. Let me post that on IG too in a second. I'm gonna put it on Facebook. But I'll see y'all later. Enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, I will see you guys shortly. Oh, one more thing. If you're on YouTube watching, do me a solid, so the algorithm will stop playing with me. All right, there we go. Let's try this again.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all be easy. Hold up. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, it's right there. Boom.
Mantra, slave song, slave ship, rip skin made me rip bones. But no matter how close I, my ancestors speak, they tell me they're tired of them brain on us like we're weak. I haven't been getting sleep, longing to sing until I surpass peak, until they think we are equal. Please, all I want is peace.